Shalom, my name is Adam Wasser and I am a Zionist. For me, being a Zionist means several things. It means supporting the land of Israel and the state of Israel. It means that I believe in the majority of the Jewish people returning to the state of Israel, and that Israel should grow through economics, through agriculture, business, and so forth. I believe that immigration, aliyah, should be a major part of the Jewish state's policy, and I believe that planting trees in Israel is a must, not a fun thing to do, but something that we must do. A lot of people today criticize Zionism. Even religious Jews will say that Zionism is an evil thing. Now, they will go and say that Theodor Herzl wanted the Jewish people to move to Uganda and not Israel. This is a misunderstanding. Yes, Theodor Herzl, one of the founders of Zionism, wanted the Jewish people to go to Uganda, but that was in the idea that he was willing to let them live anywhere. He knew that the Jewish people needed to live somewhere besides Eastern Europe. He saw he was a prophet in some sense, because he, and as well as the other Zionists, knew that something bad was going to happen to the Jews in the near future, and they needed to get out. And he was willing to send the Jews anywhere as long as they were safe. So this idea that he was against the land of Israel is completely false. Also, critics of Zionism will say that when the state of Israel was founded, a lot of Jews from Yemen came to Israel that were religious, and they were put into non-religious homes as orphans. And this was purposely to make them non-religious and religious. That I can't argue with, but unfortunately no government is perfect. Other people will criticize Zionism, saying it's unreligious, un-Jewish. I totally disagree with that. I know plenty of people who are religious Zionists living in Israel, like B'nai Akiva, B'nai Brak, Beitar, sorry. And it's very sad that people should look at that, because it was founded by Jews that came from religious homes but left religious Judaism, and therefore it is not acceptable as a Jewish way of thinking. Also, you have people like Arabs that hate Zionists. They'll say, oh, the Zionist state, and they hate the Zionists. It's not the Jews they hate, it's the Zionists, and that's bullshit. Excuse my language, because Judaism really agrees with Zionism. Zionism is just another word for what we as Jews should believe, and what we've been taught, to return to the land of Israel, to make it grow and prosper. A lot of people in the early 1900s or late 1800s decided to call a common concept of Judaism Zionism. And a lot of this was because in the early 1900s, a lot of Jews didn't think they could ever have a Jewish state. They just wanted to live and be safe, and progress should come towards their way, but they weren't willing to get up and move to make that happen. And you had a lot of young people that were dissatisfied with being persecuted, living in the ghettos, and constantly having to be shifted around by governments because they were Jewish. And they wanted to stand up, and they wanted to take a stand and say, no, enough is enough. We're not going to tolerate this. And they made an organization called Zionism. So Zionism is really what Judaism is about, in the sense that we won't just let anything happen to us, that we stand for what we believe in, we go for what we believe in, but we're not going to tolerate someone pushing us down and keeping us under control. Now, some people will say Zionism is a dying idea in Israel, and that Zionism, Young Judea, for example, is a Zionist youth organization. Many people will say that today it's not so Zionistic anymore. Even though I was in Young Judea, I disagree with that. I do feel that the problem with Zionism today is that our leadership has become so relaxed and so comfortable in the situation that they've lost the principles of the strength of pushing forward. The idea that we tolerate the Palestinians and we allow them to continue to persecute us in Israel is anti-Zionistic, because Zionism is about taking back the land. The real Zionists, if you really want to get into it, are the people that live in Gush Katif of Gaza Strip, and the people that live in the West Bank and East Jerusalem today, because Zionism, the big part of Zionism, is about returning to the land and making it grow. And I think many people in the West Bank would say, yeah, I am a religious Zionist, if there's such a thing. And then people in Tel Aviv are not Zionists because they just want to be left alone. They want to do their own thing. They're not willing to move, and they'll do what they can to just live in their ghetto. So there is this argument. In Israel today, there's a big thing about Jewish identity. What is Jewish identity? Well, for me, part of Jewish identity is Zionism, is the idea that the land of Israel is a part of who I am. It's not just my home. It's my identity. It's my second half. It's my, Yasser Arafat, years ago in the 90s, he was married to Yasser Arafat is Muslim, but he was married to a Christian woman that she lived in France. And somebody asked him, I forgot exactly how it went, but he said, I'm married to the land of Palestine. And for me, I hope to get married and all that, but I'm also, Israel's maybe my first wife. And I think in many ways a lot of Jews look at it that way, that Israel's not just a home. It's a part of you, like a real identity part of you, and without it, you're only one half. So this is my concept of Zionism, that it is a modern idea of how to be a Jew in the modern period that we live in today. And anybody who criticizes Zionism, anybody who says that, oh, it's the Zionists that they're the bad guys in Israel, or Zionism is not a religious idea and it's a bad thing, seriously, check out the history of Zionism, check out the truth, and see what it's all about, because sometimes people like to find a word that has a lot of drama and I forgot a word, but conspiracies and so forth in it, and people shy away from it. And we shouldn't shy away from the word Zionism, and because if we shy away from Zionism, then we shy away from the idea of building up the land of Israel and moving to the land of Israel and planting trees and making Yerushalayim grow. I will also say that me, personally, as a religious Zionist, I believe in rebuilding the temple in Jerusalem, Beit HaMikdash. I don't believe in waiting for God to bring down a temple, because we don't, not to get into this in this video, another video for another time, but what Mashiach is all about is very controversial in the fact there are many different opinions on it. Some rabbis will say that God will bring down the Beis HaMikdash physically from heaven. Others will say that we will build it, but God will add on the details of it. Others will say it's a spiritual idea. I believe in the fact that we have to physically build it, that we have to stand up and build it, and yes, we have to destroy the Dome of the Rock, and I do believe that the Beit HaMikdash stood exactly where the Dome of the Rock is today. That's the Golden Dome in the center of Jerusalem, and I see no reason. We must be the only people in the whole world where our holiest site is got somebody else's temple on top of it. And mind you, the Dome of the Rock is not a mosque. It's sort of a mosque. It's more of a shrine than it is a mosque. The Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is on the other side, is the actual mosque for the Muslims on the Temple Mount. Anyways, this is another big part of what I believe in religious Zionism, taking this piece of land and rebuilding the temple and making Yerushalayim grow, as well as Tel Aviv, all of Israel. And I do believe in taking these lands of Syria and Lebanon and Jordan and the Sinai, not because I'm a warmonger, because I want to just take this land, but because I believe that the Palestinians and the Arabs we can have peace with them, but we can't have peace under the circumstances of they know that we can be hurt by them. We need to show them, just like King David did, that there is no choice but to make peace with Israel, and to have secure borders. Secure borders are not the West Bank. Today in modern time, this is nothing. It's a hopscotch in a way to throw a nuclear bomb from Jordan into Tel Aviv. It needs to be secure borders that are regionally secure, especially if you have people living right next to you that want to destroy you. And I don't want to take their land that they are. I am their landlord, but that's another story. But I don't want to take their land because I am into war and I want to destroy them or anything. I want this land back because they won't live in peace with me until I take it back. Anyways, God bless you all. Passover, Pesach, is in 2 weeks from now. And a kosher Pesach, a kosher Passover to everyone. God bless, and Amen. Mashiach now.